Hello, my name is Andrea Davis, and here is my ethos for Introduction to Law 11057, Term 1, 2020. This is just a little background about myself and where I have been the last few years and what I've been doing. So, since 2012, I have resided back in my hometown of Bundaberg, Queensland. Before 2012, I had spent 10 years living overseas. I lived in Spain for most of that time while I was living overseas, and I resided in a small town called Oyarzun, which was a 15-minute drive from San Sebastian. San Sebastian is located in the north of Spain in the Basque Country. Since 2012, since I've returned to Australia to live with my children, Brooklyn and Harrison, we have adapted quite well back into the life of Australia. Mainly, this is because I always wanted to keep my children as much in tune to an Australian lifestyle because I always knew we would be moving back. One of those things I always made sure both my children were brought up on was Vegemite. So just a little bit about my studying and how I've come to being enrolled in Bachelor of Law. So over the next 8 years, I've jumped from a degree to a degree, trying to find out what I actually like doing. Most times I've always ended up studying something business related, never liked it, always hated doing it. If I could find a way to get out of doing it, I did. The main reason I always looked at studying business is because I felt that was the only thing I could actually study, being that was the field that I was working in. So now my situation has changed a bit. My oldest daughter is finished high school and she is actually doing a Bachelor of Engineering at the CQ University here in Bundaberg. My son is in grade 9 at high school. So as some would realise that once your kids get off your hands a little bit, you've got a bit more me time. So at the end of school last year, I spent some time reflecting on myself, trying to work out what I really wanted to study. And where I wanted to see my life go, as I just turned 40 as well. So, the big midlife crisis, you're getting older. Every time I look at studying anything, I always come back to studying law. I guess the main reason is ever since, I was a kid, I've always been, what would you like to be when you're older? A lawyer. Really can't give you an answer as to why I always went to that, but that's always what comes into my head. So when I was looking at all the subjects, I was doing the quizzes, I was talking to counsellors, I even spoke to the principal of my children's high school, trying to get some ideas. Studying law always came back to me. So here I am. I am enrolled in a Bachelor of Law at the age of 40, starting again. This time I feel is different than any other time I've studied. No matter how tired I come home from work, I work for Big W in Bundaberg, and as most people know right now with the coronavirus on, how crazy it is working in an essential retail outlet. I still want to study. I still want to come home. I still want to get the textbooks out. I'm learning stuff that I'm actually feeding back to friends and family that you never knew, and I'm finding it quite interesting. So that's just a little bit about me and where I am currently at. I currently don't have a field that I would like to specialise in because I'm not really sure. Off the top of my head, when I really think about it, I would say the ones that always stick in my mind would either be criminal law, family law, or international law. But I'm not rushing into any decisions yet because I haven't actually done any of those subjects. So until I actually start looking and studying at them, that's when I'm hoping I'll be able to make my decision on what field I would like to go. So just leaving you with one of the quotes that I like is, be stronger than your excuses. And thank you for listening to my ethos.